What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing? And I know I was using this microphone for Teams, so I'm pretty sure it messed with my volume. Yes, it did. There we go. I should be a little bit better now. So, how's everybody doing today? I really should just set the gain in OBS so it's always good. I feel like I should do that. So, I do want to say, because of the sales going on right now, we still have a person out. It's our main shipping person because they're in quarantine. I am only going to be able to be on here for about 30 minutes. I'm helping assemble a product. I don't usually do this, but just built a bunch of our Easy Pie Pro kits here. I got a bunch more to bake as well. So go ahead and get your guys' questions in the chat now. I am going to say we are having a Black Friday sale. We're running it just so it's not as like crazy, you know, everybody's scrambling and everything to get stuff. We are running it through the 30th. So the site has been great. Knock on wood, it has not gone down once. Our new hosting platform, which is Kinsta, has been fantastic. We did up the resources on the server. So, and before I leave, I'm going to leave a discount code for a further discount for the first X amount of people on a certain product that you can use during the sale. So, this is the kind of stuff we're going to be doing. I'm going to try, depending on how crazy it is here, I am going to try to do a short stream every day just to hang out with everybody, ask any questions, and drop little discounts here and there. So, but today is our normal Ask Tim stream. So, I am going to change... My chat box doesn't keep... all the messages here. So maybe it'll work. Let's see. My chat box isn't working. Chat box, why are you not working? Oh, there it goes. Okay. Oh, look at, there it goes. Now it's, there we go. Chat's popping up. So anyways, let me see. Go ahead and ask your questions now. Like I said, it's going to be a speed run version. Because I'm only going to be on here for a half hour, and then I have to get back to making Easy Pie kits so these can ship out. We just got a bunch of boards in a couple days ago, so I've been trying to help get them all done. I've got a whole bin of SD cards already pre-flashed down there. So I'm just sitting here testing them, hooking up to my network, make sure everything's working. So anyways, let's see here. We do have some questions. Awesome. All right. Is a tough hot end a drop-in replacement? Like, does the nozzle sit in the same spot as the stock on the Ender 5 Pro? Depends on the mount you use. Most of the mounts for the tough hot end that's a V6 compatible hot end, what that will do, usually they'll, like the Hero Me, I believe it puts it forward by 7 millimeters, so you do lose like 7 millimeters on that Y-axis because it's moving the nozzle forward. There are some out there that do have it where you don't really lose any build volume. A lot of things, and we've seen this a lot, where people will make changes and they'll put aftermarket hot end mounts on their printer, which are great. I love putting aftermarket mounts on my printer, but the problem is they don't take in consideration, like specifically there's a guy that printed some direct drive conversion kit for his Ender 3. Well, that conversion kit now added a 7.5 millimeter piece that hits the end stop 7.5 millimeters sooner on the X. So what was happening is he was going to probe his bed, and the printer still thinks it has 235 millimeters of travel. Well, it was ramming into the frame. So what happens is you have to modify your firmware to limit that travel. So let's say on that printer, for an example, you know, you have a 235 stock travel size on an Ender 3, but now you've taken 7.5 millimeters out. So your new travel size on the X would be 227.5, or just 227 is what I put in the firmware. So whenever you're making adjustments to your printer where you're changing the hot end and the nozzle's not sitting in the original spot, or you have something that's going to hit the end stop sooner than it would with the factory setup, you might have to make firmware changes to the printer. So the answer to the tough hot end is no, it's not a drop-in replacement, because you do have to print new parts to fix it to the printer. You can use your existing thermistor and heater cartridge if those are functioning and transfer those into the new one, so you don't have to splice in the new heater or the new thermistor. Those heaters and thermistors from the stock Creality hot ends do fit our tough hot ends, so you could just swap the actual metal portion out and hang on to the heaters and thermistors that we give you with that hot end as spares. So it's not a drop-in replacement. It's definitely a custom upgrade. It's more of a universal part. So let's see here. Travis Barnes with the site getting good and hammered. We had over 200 people at the start of the sale at midnight my time here, which is central. And I think we're seeing, let me check my analytics here. And obviously if people have Google or ad blockers on, I don't get full analytics, but we've got over 92 people on the site right now, according to my Google Analytics counter. So, but everything seems to be reloading very fast. You know, I hit our site and it comes up in like half a second. So, I just hit it there. So I'm very happy with Kinsta. So, Chris Knight, has the microstepping been fixed in the latest? Has the microstepping been fixed in the latest firmware? Easy board here on Ender 3 Pro doesn't work if you enable it on the easy firmware side. I'm not sure what you mean by the microstepping has been fixed. There was no issue with the microstepping. I'm not even sure what you're referring to, because microstepping is your driver's stepping rate, and those do have interpolated drivers, which that's all been running since the board launched and working correctly. I'm wondering if you're referring to the mode, switching the mode on the drivers between like stealth chop and spread cycle. And if you set in the firmware but don't clear the EEPROM, it's not going to keep and use that setting that you just put in the firmware, because the EEPROM setting is overriding it. So if you want to put more information in there, to let me know what you mean, because the question honestly doesn't make sense, because the micro stepping is something at the driver level that sets the stepping rate of that actual stepper driver. So, which is 1/16 stepping with the Trinamics doing the 1/256 interpolated stepping. So the Marlin firmware is feeding these drivers 1/16 step rates, and then the driver is using its onboard CPU to step that up to a higher resolution. So it's why it's quieter. It's why it gives you smoother motions, and mainly the noise is the reason to do that. The fine baby stepping, that's no longer in there. It's not going to be in there. Fine baby stepping, what he was referring to, is an older feature that just changed the amount of steps you could go down when you're actually doing the baby stepping. It's set to 0.025 millimeters, and that's more than enough for anybody. But if for some reason you want to change it, the source code's available and you can make the changes for your personal system. The problem with the fine baby stepping was it took forever to rotate that knob to actually get it to move. And anything below 0.025 millimeters, which is what it's set at right now for the baby stepping interval, is more than enough to make your adjustments. You're talking 0.025, not 0.25, 0.025 millimeters per notch on the knob. So no, that feature is dead and gone. If you want to change it, you can do that. That would be located in the configuration_adv.h file in the firmware, and you can compile that with VS Code, and that's available on our website too. If you go to the Unified 2 firmware page, there's a download for the EasyBoard firmware, and you just use VS Code to compile it. It makes the bin file, and you put it on the SD card. So, but one of the things we're doing with the firmwares is making, there were too many extraneous features that were like, one or two people wanted them, so I put them in there. But the problem is it created more confusion for the majority of people. So it's a less is more approach. You know, set the variables and set the options that make sense. And if someone else wants something different for their particular setup, then the source code's available and you can make any changes you like. So, but at a certain point, it started getting too hairy. We kind of started over with Unified 2, you know, went back to ground zero, so to speak, and then try to simplify it as much as possible, not have too many settings, because the more settings you have in there, the more confusing it gets for people. So, and when you're doing technical support on the firmware that goes along with your products, the more options you have, the more questions you have on stuff that they're like, well, do I need to use this? Why is this in here? Like, what does it do? You know, or they'll turn on stuff that they don't know why they're turning it on. They just see it as an option there and turn it on. So it's a less is more approach. So, but again, source code's available, so you can just modify it to your heart's content. Use VS Code to compile it. VS Code is very easy to set up, and there's a video here showing you step by step how to actually install VS Code, along with the Platform IO extension and even Python. So let's see. Keep posting the questions in chat. So I'm trying to go a little quicker here. This will be a faster paced stream because, like I said, I have to get back to making products so we can get stuff shipped out, and then even help out Aaron in the shop because he's the only person packing right now. So let's see here. Dominic said, you got the order page fixed pretty quickly this morning. Yeah, we did have one bug. It's never without fail. There was a issue with the CSS code between the plugin we're using to run the sale pricing and the product bundle page. So if there was a product that had like an optional add-on where you check the box and there was a drop-down selection, you couldn't select anything, so you couldn't actually add the add-on. But that's been fixed. I found the conflicting setting and disabled that, and it's all back to normal. Let's see here. Our mills, I'm about to drop like 200 on a sale. Well, now's the time to do it. We don't run too many sales, and this is the one that we pull out all the stops for. So this would be the time to get it if you guys are on the fence about stuff. Dominic asks, do I need to take any precautions with Pet G on Easy Flex? Yes. Make sure you're not too close, and I'd highly recommend putting down something between the plate and your print, because Pet G likes to bond to things. It likes to bond to PEI. It likes to bond to polycarbonate, like polycarbonate sheets like our Easy Mat. It likes to bond to bare glass. So it's a material that's really nice because you don't need an enclosure and it's higher temp resistant. But the problem is it likes to stick to things and stick to things permanently, and it can damage those surfaces. So you can do, if you got some hairspray laid around, you can put down a nice coat of hairspray, take the plate off the printer before you do it, because you don't want hairspray all over your printer's mechanical parts. Or even glue stick. A lot of people use PVA glue stick, and this isn't to promote adhesion because it will stick. It just sticks too well to build surfaces. So what we're using it is as a release agent. So something to put a barrier between the Pet G on the surface to keep it from damaging the surface. So Vision Miner nanopolymer works well too. That's another thing we carry in stock, and that's actually in stock on our site and on sale for 20% off. If you guys are we're also on the fence. Usually I have a bottle floating around because I use it here quite frequently. And of course, like this one time, I've whipped it out on streams before. I really like that stuff. That's what I use when I print Pet G on our Easy Flex, because like I said, it's acting as a release agent. We're not trying to get more adhesion. We're trying to get it to not bond to that surface to protect it. So, but if you do use glue stick, I used to use glue stick a while back. I would kind of mist the bed with some water and then run the glue stick so it kind of thins it out, because glue stick can kind of you'll get chunks that'll come off of it. It's kind of a pain. I'd say if I had to go back from using Vision Miner, I'd probably go back to like Aquanet. That was my choice of hairspray to use. It's cheap and it works well. But if you have a printer that has a bed that doesn't detach, it would stay away from hairspray because that hairspray can get in all your bearings and all your wheels and your belts, and it can make things sticky and bind up. So that is something to be aware of. I have seen guys will take the hairspray, spray it into a cup, and then brush it on too. So, let's see here. Paul texts, I'm starting LLC to do a 3D printing using PC and TPU in a dual material product. Is there an IDEX that I would recommend for that? I personally have not used many IDEX systems. I had one and actually gave it to Mac because it was a Hicktop one. It was terrible. It was like one of their first ones. But I do have a friend that's over in the UK. He runs a company called J Supplied, and he's actually the one that got us hooked up with that chocolate printer. They're a CraftBot reseller, and he sends me all sorts of pictures of all sorts of prints he does with like soluble supports, dual materials, that kind of stuff. The CraftBots are more expensive, but from what I've seen, I haven't got one here. He said he's supposed to be sending me one at the beginning of next year. But they're more of a commercial grade machine. But he raves about it. If you want, I know he does sales to the US too. I think it's jsupplied.co.uk. Or .co.uk, sorry. KO. No, it's not. Hang on. What's his website? Oh, I got it right here. I'm just going to post it. It's j-supplied-3d.co.uk. But one of the guy here there that owns it, his name is Mike. Just tell him that Tim sent you, Mike Hunt. But he's very knowledgeable, and he loves the CraftBots. I want to get one in here to test. I'm trying to tag you, Paul, but it's not letting me tag you for some reason. He also stops by here, but there you go. I posted the link in chat. But yeah, I haven't messed with too many IDEX. The one thing I have done for multi-material is the Palette 2 Pro and the Palette 2. I really like those, and I like them because they can be put on another printer. But he runs a farm, and he does really high-end professional prints for companies, and that's what they use for their FDM. So like they seem solid. Let's see here. Grunderful, forgot the vodka in that drink. You know what? I'm pretty sure there's a warning here on this. I dumped G Fuel for this stuff because it's delicious. And I do have like an affiliate account with them. I just haven't done all the promotion stuff for it, but this stuff is really good if you guys want to check it out. It says right here, do not add alcohol or caffeinated drinks. Do not add to alcohol or caffeinated drinks. But I'll probably end up doing that at some point. But yeah, it's really good stuff. Like, I was like, oh, this bottle's so small. But you know what? I got 60 servings in there. It's way cheaper than buying Monster and even like all these generic brand. I like it. It's not gritty. That's my main thing. I don't like the grit in the G Fuel. So I love caffeine. And especially this week, I'm probably going to go through most of those. I have 2 other flavors. I got their Green Growl and the RIP Harambe. Oh, Griffin. Oh, yeah, I totally forgot. Griffin ordered some, too. Griffin's our engineer. He got the Blue Buzz. I haven't tried that yet. But I want to. I like it. So, they also have a Discord server. Anyways, moving on. I got sidetracked here. Dubbed Out also says he uses Vision Miner Nanopower on his PEI, so the PET G doesn't rip the PEI. Richard S. One question: are your parents Dutch? On my dad's side, yes, one of them is Dutch. I believe the name is Dutch, and I was told it was spelled Hoagland, and I guess it got messed up when they immigrated here years and years and years ago. But yeah, it's I do have Dutch roots. Italian, Irish, Dutch, and German. So just all of Europe. I'm a white dude. Info Mario Rios says, where's your CR30? I haven't bought one yet. I don't do Kickstarters. I refuse to do Kickstarters. Absolutely refuse to do Kickstarters. Jesse Sparks says, it looks like ANA has made code available for the ET5X. Are you talking about the Marlin code? Because I am aware of that. I just got a million other things going on right now. And having staff that's constantly, calling off for whatever reasons or having to quarantine has been setting back a lot of the stuff I've been wanting to do. I bought a bunch of programmers for the ANAT boards. I have a box of like 50 of them that we were going to sell on the site, but I don't want to release those until I have videos showing out how to use them. But the ET5 and the ET4 do have Marlin support from ANET. The only thing is, for some reason, their bootloader doesn't allow you to flash the firmware from the SD card. You do have to pop the bottom of the printer off. I think those have a bottom cover on them. I can't remember. I think they do. But anyways, you plug a little programmer on there, you upload over the USB port upload the firmware over the programmer. So it's not as straightforward, but anything to make those printers work, because my thing was I liked the hardware of the ANETs, the new ones, but I hated the firmware. So if we can get if Marlin's on there, I might switch my fanboyism from Creality, but we'll see. I also have that box right there. That's a Anycubic Mega Zero 2. So I did buy it and I did get it in. I want to do streams this week, but with the sale, I don't think I'll be able to do anything outside of these quick little streams. I think we're just going to do Ask Tim's half hour here every day to help promote the sale and then ask questions, because I'm sure we'll have extra questions. Is the Easy Plug available for purchase for Black Friday? No, because so these all worked. We got these in. I have 10 of each style. Yeah, 10 of each style. The Easy Plug Plus and the Easy Plug. These are final retail units. They came out really nice. And they just got the regular US plugs. I'm not going to do UK plugs. Sorry, UK customers. Just sticking with the US plugs for right now. But no, I should have those out before the end of the year. But not in time for the sale. So, but so far I unboxed, I've got 20 of them, 10 of each version, the Plus and the regular. They all work. So I just actually sent our supplier the go-ahead last night to go ahead and move the production for 500 units. So hopefully in a couple weeks we'll have our plugs. Mark is asking, on the flex plates, do you prefer Oh God, my chat just jumped again. Hang on. Here we go. I found where we're at. On the flex plates, do you prefer smooth or texture surface? In general, I like the smooth, but on some prints, I really like the textured. So most of my printers, I'd say 80% of them are smooth, 20% of them are textured, or I have both plates. Like my Ender 3, I've got the smooth and the textured plate in here. And depending on what I'm printing, if I want that cooler textured look, I'll go with the textured plate. But for the most part, I gravitate towards the smooth, and it's totally personal preference. They both work the same. It depends on if you like having, you know, kind of a smoother matte finish on the bottom of your part versus something that's got a little texture to it that gives a little more character. So, Dusanos one says, hey, will my Easy be able to work on a glass bed with a CR10S5? Absolutely. We use the custom capacitive type sensors, and the capacitive types work with glass with no problem. They're still just as accurate. Sean Bauer saying, can the Easy Out be wired directly to the Creality 427 board? So we have the Easy Out supported in the firmware for the 427 boards with the LCD adapter. Now, those boards do have an extra I/O 3-pin port, but if you plug our sensor into that port without going through, if you plug it into the port instead of going through the LCD adapter, you will short the 5-volt rail on that board, so don't do that. The reason we opted for advertising that and supporting it through the LCD header is because it gets very complicated if it's like people don't know what board they have in their printer and they're buying a filament sensor kit for an Ender 3. So the LCD adapter one works on the 8-bit boards and the 32-bit boards, and that's already supported in the firmware. We could, through a different variation of the kit, which is called the standard one, we could use that header that's on that board, but then we're adding another layer of complexity. Like I said, keep it simple with things. There are 2 ways we can connect a filament sensor on that board. Because that product's already out and it's already known as this is the one for the Ender 3, but now the Ender 3's got a million different board versions, we want to advertise the one that works with all of the boards so there's no confusion. You know, someone buys this and they're like, oh, well, I bought this and I got an Ender 3, but they have an 8-bit board. They can't use the one that's for the 32-bit board, where the one for the 32-bit board and the 8-bit board, it works on both and it does the same thing. So, Mark is asking, taking a class tomorrow for some young adults in 3D printing. Want to wow them at first. Any good ideas on a good model? You know what? Everybody loves the hairy lion. It's like the basic white girl of 3D printing models. But you know what? I have one here, and people love this model. Like, this is such a cool model. I would say like this, or like the flexible ones. The Flexi Rex. I don't know if I have any. I don't think I have any flexible ones. Like the Flexi Rex, or like I do have this. My brother hacked this together. I've got my. It's probably wouldn't be school appropriate. There's an octopus that doesn't have glocks on its end, but this is the Gloctopus. But stuff like this with like the articulated motion type stuff where it's print in place. So, but I believe my brother Doug, who goes by Top Hat Waffle on Thingiverse, this is the Gloctopus. He combined a bunch of models, and now we have a Gloctopus. It's also just fun to say. Nanaki, hi Tim and everyone. Congratulations to TS3D for your top quality hardware and support. I'm glad you're enjoying it, man. I really am. Or woman. I don't know who you are. Can't tell by your username. Oh wait, I already read. I got Mark's. Okay. Thoughts on the David FL says, thoughts on the ANET A8 Plus for 300 by 300. If you can get it cheap, it's not a bad machine. But if you don't mind spending a little more, I would personally say go with like a CR10S or a CR10 V2. But our A8 Plus has been working. So we've done some upgrades to it, but it's been decent. I think the one issue we had was we had some bent lead screws and ANET refunded us for them. We went and bought some from another company. So, yeah, Robert Hudson says here, I just got the ET4 Pro, got the ST-Link gadgets to put Marlin on. Yeah, those are the ST-Link programmers. I got a bunch of those here. So, that's what we're going to be stocking. I got some just generic ones that'll work fine. But I haven't had time to play with it. I wanted to. I was very excited once I saw that drop, and I was like, I want to get this on there. I want to play with them because I have 2 of them sitting, and they're sitting because I hate the firmware on them. Lightspeed asks, how much will the plugs cost? We do have a listing on the site, so if you want to get on the notification list for when we actually stock these, I do have. I'm going to update this because I had the target release for 12/1. I think it's going to be more like 12/15, somewhere around there, just because of all the delays with COVID and everything. But I will show you guys this here. Let's go ahead and share the monitor with you. Here we go. So if you guys look on our website here, these are just renders. Obviously, I showed you the ones that look the same as the renders, just a little bit. What's the word I'm looking for? It's not as dark. It's like more of a gray. But anyways, so this is just getting a sale price from the Black Friday stuff, but they will be $19 for the regular Easy Plug. As you can see here, $19.99. And then the Easy Plug Plus will be $24.99. And the difference between the Plus and the regular one, they both do the same exact thing. The difference is the Plus will have power monitoring. So it will monitor your VA, your current, your voltage, and give you those stats in the actual UI of the plug. They have their own web interface. You can actually connect into them and see what your printer is actually pulling. So, and the wife is home, so Claire's probably going to bark a little bit, so I apologize. She was hiding back there. But anyways, yeah, so hopefully mid-December, we should have those ready for sale. All 20 plugs came to me. They all worked. They all fired up. So my manufacturer's got everything solid on those. The branding's on point. The firmware is great. So just a matter of cranking out a bunch of them. So as soon as I have them, we're going to be ready to go. And I got some videos already shot for them. So let's see here. Nicholas Gensman, do you make a mask or Gator with the TH3D logo? We do. I'm wearing the one that Teespring makes right now because we do wear masks when we're working next to people. So, how do I look at all the branding? I'm actually wearing all TH3D stuff. Look at neck Gator, the shirt. This is our Do You Even Benchy shirt, and then these we don't sell anymore. We switched from Printful to Teespring for our merch because Printful was being terrible, but Teespring doesn't have hats, which I'm kind of disappointed. I thought of problem with Printful is they'd accept orders and they'd take over a month to ship out, and would tell you that it wouldn't take a month to ship out. That was a problem I had. So, but we have these. If you go, I think it's if you just go to our site and click merch at the top of the page, you can see what we have. Main monitor. There we go. So if you click here, go to merch. This will take you to our Teespring store. And they're pretty quick. They took about a week because these are all print on demand. So, but we've got these in black and white. They're like $20. I can tell you right now, my cost on these is like $17.50. So we literally make like $1 and some change on it. I have pretty much all of our merch priced lower because I don't really care about making profit on the merch. I just want to have it. But that's what I'm wearing now, and it's double. It's actually 2 layers. So, and it's very soft. I don't even mind having it like around my neck when I'm not needing it. So, anyways, moving on. Let me go back to live chat here. Kobir, I did see yours, except chat jumped. Kobir was asking about. Where are you? Okay, here we go. I'm interested in relocating the PSU on my Ender 3 to Dual Z. I saw the printed part. Do I keep it vertical or move it under the bed? It's up to you. I did the vertical one where it just pushes it back a little bit, and that's it. I have seen some people where there's Thingiverse upgrades where you can print it and put it horizontally, like underneath the extrusion.
Pies.
Yeah, hang on.
You don't have to go out there afterwards. I got everything.
Okay, I'll just keep making that. Got it?
Yeah.
Hold them to you. There you go. You can leave that open. Samantha's home. So anyways, sorry about that. Yeah, so it's up to you, personal preference. You could, I have mine vertically where it's just pulling it in, or pulling it back from the frame at the stock location. I've seen other people put it underneath. It's personal preference. So let me go back to where we were in chat because I do have to wrap this up soon. Maybe I'll just pop a random stream on in a little bit after this. You guys want to see me build a bunch of Raspberry Pis? Oh man. It took me over an hour to do 11 of those. It was rough. Robert Rossi, Tim, where in the unified firmware is the default temperature set? Do you know off the top of your head under what tab or what it's called? I'm not sure what you mean by default temperature. You're talking about sensor, your sensor option, or are you talking about like the presets? Because if memory serves correct, I think the presets are located. I'm pulling up my source code right now. You guys can't see, but I'm pulling it up on my screen. And I believe, yeah, presets. So that would be, I think it's in the backend file, if I remember. Yes, so, main monitor. There you go. So, the line numbers might vary slightly. This is the bug test branch, but this is going to be in the retail, or not the retail, but the official release. Just search for this in configuration backend.h preheat _1 label, and you can change the name, you can change your presets, and then just compile locally with your firmware. So that's where those are set. If anybody was wondering. What's else? Okay, so Flexi Res. Greg R. Hey, your recommendation on the anti-backlash nut really worked. My X bar no longer falls down when I get disengaged step rotors. Thanks. Yeah, no, they're great. I love them. Like I said, our CR10S Pro was terrible for the gantry dropping, especially on the extruder side, and we put those on there, and it's been great. I dare say it's almost as good as putting a belt across the top to link the two. They both accomplish the same thing, which is to prevent it from going out of sync. So, let's see here. I'll answer a couple more questions, and then I am going to... I need more energy drink. You guys saw me put in here. I haven't had any caffeine yet today. But that will change. Anyways... So I'll answer the last few questions here, and then I got to get back to work. I wish I could do a longer stream today, but with the Black Friday sale, it's always chaos here. So, especially when we have the main person that's supposed to be shipping orders out because they're in quarantine. Really bad timing. Really bad timing. Like probably the worst timing in the entire year for someone to be under quarantine. So, especially that specific person. Just really terrible timing. They're literally going to get back. Their quarantine's going to be up literally after we're all going to be caught up with the orders. Like a couple days after. So, but what can you do? So I do want to say we did put it in like all the email blasts, our news page. Orders are going to take longer to get out right now during the sale. It's just how it is. So, we're shipping out everything as fast as we can. So it's not going to be the same as like where we have same day. If it's ordered before noon Central Time, we get out the same day or next day. We've already got over, I want to say last time I checked, it was over 200 orders for today. And that was at like noon when I checked. So, but we are getting everything out as quick as possible. So just make sure that you guys, whatever you're putting in and you're ordering, make sure it's correct. Make sure address is correct because we're going through stuff and there's such a high volume, we're not going to be able to make changes to orders. So double check everything. Double check your shipping address. Double check that you have your quantities right, your sizes of whatever you're ordering right, all that stuff. Let's see. Nanaki says, I have an Ender 3 with an Easy Board and Easy ABL. When printing, I get some artifacts always located. He put the quotes. I was just emphasizing that. I always get some artifacts located at the same place of my print's walls. Sounds like something's going on with your Z-axis. If it's at the same location, I'm assuming you're talking about a height location. If I'm wrong, let me know. I do have lower latency chat turned on, so if you post a thing, I think it's like a 10-second delay instead of like 30 seconds. So anyways, if it's on the Z, it could be that you're binding up at that point. It could be your wheel eccentric is too tight. It could be that the lead screw is slightly bent. Maybe your little brass nut that holds the lead screw needs to be loosened up slightly. That it could be any one of those things. If it's like on every layer, that could just be your Z seam, and you could either most slicer settings, like I use Simplify 3D still. Don't recommend you buy it. Their support's terrible. I just haven't had time to switch yet. But anyways, you can usually move that Z-seam to a side of the print that is not as noticeable. But you're always going to have some sort of indicator where the print starts and stops, just how this technology works. You can try to hide it, and there's other things people can do to make it less noticeable, but you're always going to have something just because of the nature of how this stuff is made. So... there's extra info here. I should have read down a couple lines. So usually I'll read a line and stop and answer it, but he did provide more context, so I'm sorry. It can be a distortion on a vertical wall, like if PLA started to melt, or small PLA spaghettis on the overhang part of a sphere, for example, but same layers are correctly printed on the other side of the object. Oh, that's a cooling issue. You don't have enough cooling. That's where aftermarket mounts like the Hero Me or the Pets Fang would come in, where you have cooling from either side. That sounds like you said, if PLA started to melt, it's not getting enough cooling. So you need to upgrade your cooling. And we have, for the Pets Fang and the Hero Me, they have support for, which are my favorite fans, and that's what we sell, are the 5015 blower fans, 5015. They crank out a ton of air, and most mounts are designed around those fans because they have a lot of airflow. It definitely sounds like it's overheating. You're getting overheating because it's not getting enough cooling. And especially on the stock Ender cooling setup, you only have air coming from one side of the nozzle. So the left versus the right is going to get better cooling just because of how they have it set up. Dan Adams is getting ready to put upgrades on a side order X1 for the screen and the Easy ABL mod. He had to order extension cable because he ordered the Easy ABL kit before he had the kit available. Yeah, we sell that cable separately in the shop. It's actually branded, I think it's branded the CR10S Pro signal cable. They all use the same cable. Luckily, it simplifies inventory. But it's just a 2-pin or 2-wire or 2-conductor wire with 3-pin JSTs at either end. One goes to the board, one goes to the control box of the Easy ABL. So, anyways, and I'm going to see if there's any other questions. There's one other thing here. Anyways, I'm going to answer this one last question. That is from operator Tony. Tim, do you have any plans for the Anycubic Mega Zero? So I was going to do the Zero 2.0 build, and I think I'm going to do like a side-by-side video. Now, the thing is, the 2 and the 1, as far as I can tell, the difference is on the 2, they added a heated bed. I bought that Mega Zero 2 for $191 shipped. If they got the bed set up right, meaning it heats quick and it's done correctly, I genuinely think that the Anycubic Mega Zero 2 with the heated bed could take on the Ender 3 series, because I was very impressed with the build quality on the Mega Zero. Very impressed with it. I really think that machine with the heated bed version could take on the Ender 3. Operator Tony says he got the V1 for $109. That's an excellent price for that printer. Even though it doesn't have a heated bed, that's an excellent PLA machine for $110. That's insane. That came down a lot. So, I do have Easy ABL support for the V1 in our firmware, but that's in Unified 1. But I will be adding in support for the 0 and the 02 to Unified 2, and then that printer will be officially moved over. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to make my own personal goal of moving all the machines over from Unified 1 to 2 by the end of the year, but I'm going to try. I'm actually making a lot of progress. Do I have the mount for it? It should already be in the firmware download for Unified 1. I believe it is. I believe it is already in there because we have it listed.
Shut up and take my money.
Oh, that. Oh, I need to turn that off. That scares the crap out of me every single time. George movie, thumbs or pitched quad flyer? What is that? I have no idea what that meant. Oh, or pinch. For the, he's asking a drone question. I use thumbs. I do not pinch it. That looks weird. There's guys that are like, I'm going to fly my quad with my pinching sticks. I'm just pulling down the, I'll turn it off. It scares the crap out of me. Like every time. Because I forget it's there. And then it happens. And it's very loud because my speakers are usually turned up like they are. So, I'm checking right now. Easy ABL, STL files, probe mounts, any cubic. Oh, it's not in here. Did I not add the ABL support? Maybe I just did the stock one. Any cubic Mega Zero. Okay, so I just have it for the custom mount listed. Let me see if I can find that file really quick because it's on the printer right now. If not, I'm going to have to, I'll have to ask Aaron for it. No, that's an LCD mount for the Mega. Yeah, I'll get that wrapped into Unified 2 next week then. So I'll get the Mega Zero wrapped into Unified 2. I'll get the Mega Zero 2. If it has the same board as the Mega Zero 1, I hope it does. I think it does. Should be able to get that into Unified 2 pretty easy because I already did all the legwork on the Creality 1284p boards, and the Mega Zero has the 1284p board on it. And it had a bootloader. So we'll see. We'll see what they have. So anyways, I know we have a probe mount because I'll show you right now. My pillow is coming with for a ride. So there, it exists. I just have to find the file. So I know we designed it. So yeah. Anyways, I went over a little bit on my time. I have to get back to work building out these pie kits. We sold a lot of them. So I have to get back to making them so we can ship them and then help them out with orders. I think I'm going to be packing orders tonight. So anyways, make sure you guys check out our sale. It runs through the 30th. The only thing we're allowing back out, the only thing we're allowing back out orders on is the Easy Board. Everything else, once we're out of stock on it. Now, we did order more stock to stock up for the sale, but once it's gone on stuff. So what I'm going to do is, give me 1 second. I just made a code that will take $10 off the Easy Board for the first 10 people. And if you guys want the Easy Board and you want $10 off, it's for the first 10 people. So first come, first serves, whoever is the quickest. You guys ready? You guys ready? It's 1 per customer. You can enter the code U6MU28QH at checkout. And that's for the first 10 people to use it. I'm going to do a little stuff like this where we'll do a little live streams. We'll throw little discount codes, and that's on top of the sale price. So you'll match for another 10 boards. So what, should I make it 20, Griffin? If Griffin says yes, I'm going to make that 20 instead of 10. Because Griffin is an engineer that we work with, and he does all our design and everything, but he also runs a production, so we buy the boards from him. So if he's able to work on us with better cost, then there we go. So 20. The first 20 customers to use that code will get $10 off an Easy Board. And one thing to note, because they are on back order, we are expecting them hopefully, according to tracking, like we have tracking, they're in the US. Hopefully we should have them by the end of the week. But it could be up to 2 weeks. So just know that. Now, if you want to get if you're buying other stuff, you want to get other stuff before you get the Easy Board, make 2 separate orders. Put the Easy Board on one order and then put all the other stuff on the other. So, Tony, I'm not on Facebook anymore, but I am in Discord. So I need to get off here. But Tony, if you want to send me a link, because I might pick another one up for $110. There's a link in the video description for our Discord server, which I hang out in frequently. So if you want to bother me, don't actually bother me, but if you want to hang out, I'm usually on our Discord server. So, but anyways, I appreciate everybody for stopping by. I hope you guys are having a great week. And if you're thinking about picking up an Easy Board, like I said, for the first 20 people that use that code, then it will take $10 off on top of the sale price for the Easy Board for the first 20 people. So anyways, I'm going to get back to work. I got a bunch of pie kits to make so we can get these shipped out and then help get orders packed tonight. So it's going to be a long night. I should probably order more energy mix now because I'm probably going to plow through what I have right now. So anyways, thanks for stopping by, everybody. Hope you guys get some awesome deals on stuff. And as always, happy printing.